What's good, YouTube? Yeah, this is D Chill. I wanted to say what's up to all my peeps out there. First, I'm gonna get my shout outs. Like I said, one of the reasons why I do these shout outs because I want to give credit to those that came before me in these YouTube streets and the folks that got me encouraged to want to do this. So that's definitely at the top of the list is Kev Mack because he's the person that really influenced me into this. Not personally, it was just me watching him go out there when he was interviewing all different kind of gang members from all kind of sets, and I really respected that. You know, him being from 6-0, that's not something easy to do because them cats had a big name. They got a big name still because they're a big hood, but I'm up here in Seattle, so imagine they've been having a big name since the early '90s up here, late '80s. So they just are some big cats back in the days. Yeah. Anyway, so he's definitely number one, and then Street TV, which is the first folks on the block, but I wasn't too hip to him that much as I was in Kev Mack because I bang, Kev bang, and you know that's just how it was. But then Bosco 100, Nina Boy, 16 to Life, Cartoon One, Joe T, C Bill, Jay Williams, Big Homie Blocks, Renegade. Um, what's the other ones? I think there's a couple more, but them are the ones that I watch consistently. I mean, Renegade I watch him every morning because he always got something. Him and Cartoon. I've heard it said Cartoon was the most consistent in California, and I was wrong about that. I mean, well, he's from California, even though he's in no. Renegade is definitely the most consistent person that I know on the California scene. It almost might be YouTube because the cat has a video like clockwork. Every morning or late morning, he got something cracking, and they're good stories. And you don't have to listen to a cat cuss all day. Some of you guys have good stuff, but it just burns my ears up. I don't like listen to a whole bunch of cussing no more because I used to curse like crazy. But it's like I ain't got my book around here because I've been slipping. I need to read it more. But I got a book called A Vocabulary Builder because I want to build my vocab. All my siblings talk fluent, good, crisp English, smooth, and my mama was very sharp. So was my daddy, extremely sharp. And here I am, barely can get put a sentence together at 50 years old. That don't make no sense, and that's half past retarded. Let me just keep it clean. And I'm talking about me, so that's why I'm trying to work on my own self. With that being said, I'm just giving it as it is. I like some of y'all's content, but I'm cool. You cuss too much, and it don't make no sense to cuss that goddamn much. This is a business. It's like being at work, cussing at work. I mean, think, people, think. I mean, god dang. Wow. Anyway, so let me get into the story, man. This one is particularly, said it correctly, about California, Lancaster to be exact. I want to tell a couple of different scenarios. I'm not going to say stories, but just things that I grew up experiencing as a youngster while I was in Lancaster, California, or California, period, because I lived in Pomona, lived in LA, and lived up. I didn't live up north. I stayed in Oakland during some things, but I didn't live there. I was just there over the weekend. But I didn't been around, so but my main home was Lancaster. I ain't gonna front and act like I've been in LA putting no major work. No, no, no. I lived in Lancaster. And back in these days, everybody was just cool with everybody, with the exception of, some races. They always thought they were the top stuff until you put them on their pockets and they wake up. But this this one particular person, I got to start from the beginning. My first female girlfriend in California. We're not going to say Lancaster, in California, period, because I keep trying to think. Well, me and my homeboy, he was my best friend when we was younger. Well, when you're little kids, you think anybody's your best friend. But this guy named Fred, he used to run my brother Keno, rest in peace, and Dorian, the other Dorian in Lancaster, and I think his brother's name is Dwayne. I could be wrong, but they was Crips. But that's who Keno ran with, Lancaster Mafia Crips. Yeah, and they used to get into it with my cousin Dre and his people. I forget what the Blood's name was over there. Snake was one of the homies. and anyway, I'm gonna get off track. I'm about to start talking about my SA homeboy Tim from PDL. But anyway, I had some days. I'm gonna get into some of my Lancaster stories with these cats, man, because I had some good times in Lancaster and I had some bad times. But I'm gonna tell you some of the great ones. So my first girlfriend was a Mexican lady. Uh, it, I kid you not. I don't remember. She didn't live that far away from me, and I liked her at school, and we started talking. Excuse me. And we're talking the fifth grade. And this is my girlfriend. So we chopping it up, and lo and behold, we become cool, and they become our girlfriend. So I take her over to meet grandma. First female that I ever dealt with. I didn't take her over to meet grandma. I takes in her to meet grandma, and grandma gonna say, I was like, Grandma, this is, I forget her name. This is so and so. I'll just call her Angel. I said, Grandma, this is Angel. And she's like, oh, okay. I tell you, and Angel is my girlfriend. Grandma gonna say, oh, your friend girl. Like, you gonna try to change up the wording because you're trying to say that I'm too old or too young to have girlfriends or something? Man, come on, I'll go back to Seattle because you're not gonna dictate how I talk and who I talk to and all that. I was raunchy at a young age. I really only listened to my mama. Just keep it clean. Everybody else, I partially listened to y'all because I didn't trust none of y'all because you weren't there from the beginning like mama was. So I loved you and I respected you because of her. Really. Other than that, I wouldn't have listened. I would just got a gang of whoopings. I was used to that because mama was the real deal to me. But anyway, so grandma kind of ticked me off with that one. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, grandma. You gonna disrespect me in front of the young girl? Of course, you can't say nothing, but it's just the principle. Like, that's grandma though. I still love that 93-year-old lady. She's out still kicking. And looking, grandma be rolling the whip too. And she didn't break her hip not too long ago. Grandma be rolling to Walmart. Let me not front, because grandma done went to Walmart to send me some money. Grandma still gets around at 93. So yeah. So anyway, that was the first little subject. The girl Angel, we was boyfriend and girlfriend. And I thought about it earlier, like, man, I gotta tell some old stories of Lancaster. And I was like, oh, that's right. From when I went to Desert Wind, I started thinking about my I used to call them my SA homegirls, but I'm saying my Mexican homegirls because I don't know if they're from up north or south. I just didn't know all the politics back then. But and I started thinking about them, and I was like, dang. And I think this other girl's name is Teresa. We were really cool. She had a swimming pool in her backyard. Um, but so anyway, I was thinking about them guys, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot all about her. My first girlfriend was a Mexican in California. So I'm like, it just tripped me out when I thought about it. So I wanted to make sure I give her a shout out. I forget who you are, but we did go to Joseph Elementary School together. I am Dorian McDade. Yeah. And you look at your little yearbook. I'm that guy at the little afro. Oh man, matter of fact, I went to Joshua in the first grade and the fifth grade or kindergarten. I got my little burgundy suit on. Oh, I was in the burgundy way back then. Can't tell me I wasn't Paul Rue. I had the burgundy on way back then. A little kid. That's a whole other story. Y'all ain't gonna believe when I tell you some truly, what's they call it? Hot off the press type of stuff. No one knows this story. No one. The only person that's gonna remember this story, and it happened in Lancaster too, is this one kid. He was a little bit younger than me. If he remembers it, those are the only people that's gonna remember this story. And I'm not going to tell it right now. It has to be when I didn't blew up or I have a big name on YouTube, and then I'm gonna expose it because my homeboys they're gonna trip when they find out this one here. A lot of people are like, huh? How? But I have to be real discreet because there's so many parts to it. There's other people that's involved. They're living their life a certain way. You don't want to do that because they're on a big level. There's a lot of moving parts to this, and I just gotta talk like that because I'm anybody that know me and my family know I'm secret squirrel. That's what my ex used to call me, or some who else was that? Secret squirrel. Like everything to me was a secret. because my stepdaddy taught me not to snitch at, what was I, 8, 9 years old? Yeah, that's what he taught me. So I took it to heart. That's the kind of person I was when he taught me something. I used to really try to listen to everything. That's the reason why some people that I grew up with, they could lie to me about so much, and I believe them because I took everything to heart. Especially if you're older than me, I'm thinking you're telling me the truth. So I believe every. That's just how I was. So if you're trying to teach me something, same thing applies. I'm going to listen at least when I was a little kid, trying to learn the ropes of things, not when I'm being reprimanded. There's a difference. Not really listening to no reprimands. But my stepdad, he was from New York, Chicago, El Rookin, I believe. Sometimes it throws me off. He would say certain things, and I'm like, is he El Rookin? From what he told us. And then he had this top cat and a cane, I think, tattooed on his arm. So I think that might. I don't really know their politics. I grew up Crippin' and Bloods until the G's got started in Seattle. But you got to think, my stepdad was putting in a lot of work, and he taught us how to shoot dice. 8 years old. Everything I'm telling you, like the first year we met him, don't snitch. You end up in a ditch and ride your own beef. So the first three things I remember him teaching me. Then later he taught us how to shoot dice when we're living in the South. Then on Rainier and Genesee, not Genesee, Rainier and Myrtle Street Apartments. That's how I met Khalil, Joe Palmer, my ex girl Tammy. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I was. And my homeboy Marcus, of course. That's how we met Khalil. Gonna try that story. Yeah, let me quit. So anyway, on to the next story. My homegirls, the when I went to let me slow down. When I was attending Desert Wind High School, that's like an all alternative school, and us Mexicans, Africans. I don't like saying blacks because that's a color. We're African. We all keep wanting to stray away from using that word, and it's sad. I was telling this Mexican African lady, it's sad how I used to literally think that I'm American and they're African. We're two different blacks. That's how brainwashed they had us up here, and still some of us, because we think we're different from the Africans. And then they say, you're African American. Well, wouldn't that mean that I'm 50-50 African and 50 uh, American? Well, when I check my DNA, and I need to put that up there, I'm not that great at all this technical stuff, but I'm getting better at it with the doing reaction videos. I'm going to show y'all. But I have more Sweden blood at 8% than I do American blood at 1%. Northern American blood is only 1%. Isn't that America? And the only other thing that I have is Dutch, and that's 6%. Hmm. But they said I'm African American. Check your DNA, people. We've been lied to for so long. We just think that Asian Pacific American Islander. This what this month is supposed to be. America always wants to put their coattail to something to make it attach themselves to something as if they are everybody's a part of them. You're American something. No, America, you're the lowest on the totem pole. You don't got no big old clout here. Everything you got has been parlayed, put together. You done got from someone else. You don't have nothing that's just yours up here. So you trying to make it seem like we're a part of you. No, you're a part of us. You are a part of us. And yeah, that's the reality of it. So y'all might want to check your DNA and find out the real and find the truth behind this American stuff that they've been selling you for so long because it's not true. You are not African American. That's a lie. So anyway, so we're all going together. Like I said, the Africans and the Mexicans. We're all going to the school, and we're doing fine. Never ever. All the time I was there, ever been a fight like that. Feud, nothing. And that was 1990 when I went there. I got kicked out the following year, right before school let out, because I came up there with the homies. I told that video. I spoke about that on the video, but I think it was one of my old videos. But I'm gonna bring it back to service. But so we used to be playing football and on for our PE on the grass in the back. This is alternative school. It's not really big. So we'll be playing a little football on the grass, and for some reason, a group of the Mexican homegirls are on my team. And so when I get the rock, I get to making my move, and they be, go Seattle, go Seattle. And the reason why they call me Seattle so much, because I pumped our town up. Man, everywhere I go, that's just how I am. I represent my city. I'm not going to get down there and start trying to act like I'm one of them, regardless if I claim power or not. That was from me meeting the homies up here, BG Fang and P Dog from Compton. Yeah, them cats. That's how I got into this. And of course, Larry. That was his name. The OG cat. There's another cat, Buck, and my homie. His name is Larry too. But I'm talking about the older dude that was from Ludus. He came up here with some Crips. He came up here with Demu and Wood, and no, I'm not sure if it's Wood, rest in peace, Ace. I never forget, I seen Demu and Ace up on 16th and Fur, and that's the first time I ever seen gang members in my neighborhood, and they were together, Crips and Blood, making money, but he was the big guy, shot caller. Matter of fact, Cap threw a roll of money out one day. It was like this thick. I'm a little kid. It probably felt that big because at that younger age, but he threw it down to me as a little kid, and when he threw it down, it hit my hand because he's at the top of this little building, apartment. It hit my hand with so much it just fell out, and I picked it up. Little did this cat know I was a meter picker, so I knew something about money, and I was a thief. I'm like, this boy done threw all this money to me. It had to be thousands. And I'm like, he don't know I can sprint and be up out of here quickly. But I'm not no fool. Even at that age, they was going to find out where I live. They were going to come get that money. And then there's going to be some problem for my family. But I just tripped out, picked it up, and threw it back up there. But just, anyway, the point is, yeah, there was a lot going on. But so back to the story. They used to just trip off me because I always was talking about Seattle this, Seattle that, telling them all kind of different stories, some mix-a-lot stories because I grew up on Spruce. And that's where Mix-a-Lot grew up at the Boys and Girls Club up on 19th, and I lived on 15th. As you can see, 15th is Spruce Media Group. Yeah, well, that says the president, but on the back. Was this here? Yeah, that says it on here too. On the back, it really says it. Anyway, my bad, y'all. Sometimes I be rambling. I'm trying to work on that because it says be slow to speak, quick to listen, and I'm working on not talking so much. So I used to just love hanging with my Mexican homegirls, and we'd be popping in. They'd hear me talk about Seattle in the classrooms. So I really had some good times hanging and learning, you know, different things down there because I was new. Of course, I lived down there before my grandma, but it's different when you're not living or you're living down there and now you're banging and watching and trying to pay attention to how things move down in the motherland of gang banging in terms of Crips and Bloods. I'm not going to say the mother of gang banging because that's on the East Coast. Let's just keep it clean. Them Chicago cats have been doing it way before any of us, period. GDs and Vice Lords been out way before any Crips and Bloods. I think them cats were out back in the 50s when they had the businessmen, the Slausons, and the Gladiators. I believe those are, I believe, gangs, but Crips and Bloods wasn't a thing. GDs and Vice Lords and them, they was back in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, they've been doing it for quite a while. But so anyway, man, I just wanted to give a shout out to all my Mexico people, not Mexico, because it's not how you pronounce their country. You can't change up their country, America, because you want people to talk like you. You want everybody to speak how you speak up here. That's not how you pronounce their name. They know how to pronounce their name. They don't need help from us because we think we know how to speak such great English that we can dictate how we pronounce someone else's country's name. They know what they're doing, but this slick stuff that, anyway, America's gonna be exposed. Y'all stay tuned, because there's some stuff that y'all don't be knowing that's going on behind closed doors and right in your face that this country's been slick about, and we need to wake up. But yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to my Mexico folks, because they always been good to me, even though I had some issues when I was up there in what's it called um, what's that called again? Out there, it's not Sunnyvale, Yakima. Call it Yakima Vegas. Yeah, it was kind of thick out there in their little jail cells out there. But other than that, they've always been good people to me. So I think I'm gonna tell another one tomorrow. I may have been long-winded and then tell everything that I wanted to, because there's some other situations that took place. But anyway, that's it, man. I want to give y'all little a little bit on what I learned hanging out with my folks down there. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.